Welcome everyone to this month's Astrocolorscope. My name's Elizabeth Harper. My website is sealedwithlove.com. Okay, so the idea of the Astrocolorscope is, in a moment, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the astrology, the aspects that are coming up for the month of June 2015. Then I'm going to select 3 crystals from my crystal bag here for each sign. And I'm going to throw those crystals into a circle of the 12 houses and then read the color of the crystal, the qualities of the crystal, and how that reflects on the house that they've landed in and what that means for you. I'll also be using my intuition to see what else comes up. And I'll be picking a bead from the bead bag right here for an additional influence from the color and anything else that comes up from that. And I like to do things in 3s. So we have a tarot card as well. This is the Voyager deck. So I'll pick a card for you. And what you can do then is take a look at the card and see what you are most attracted to in that card. And whatever you're attracted to, then you can ask yourself, what does that mean? So you get an additional message, but it's personal for you. Okay, so to begin with, we're going to talk a little bit about the astrology that's coming up, the aspects that are coming up. So we've got a Sagittarius full moon on the 2nd of June, and you know, with Sagittarius, it's the 9th house sign, and it's very much about, it's a fiery sign. It's very much about adventure and taking off into this world that is unknown. So with that full moon, when you get a full moon, it's almost like you're coming to a fulfilled place. So you're asking yourself, am I fulfilled in the department of adventure? Am I fulfilled in that place of philosophy, of education, of higher education, of learning, of travel? Do I feel fulfilled when I'm looking at a broader perspective of my life? So that's what comes up with that particular moon. And then there's a new moon that comes in on the 16th, which is Gemini. And with the Gemini energy, it's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is going direct finally on the 11th of this month. So communication comes into balance, and technical things, electrical stuff, it all starts working a little bit better. But then when we get to that new moon, there's also the emphasis on communication. There's an emphasis on education. There's more of a focus on wanting to learn, on wanting to maybe to expand your horizons as well. So it's interesting that Mercury going direct and then the new moon going into Gemini all comes in the same month. So there's almost a sense of much clearer communication, more clarity as well. There's also Neptune is going retrograde in Pisces, which is its natural sign, and that's on the 12th of June. And with that, we become more sensitive. You know, Neptune is a planet of imagination. It's a planet of psychic sensitivity. It's also a planet of addictions, because we tend to want to drown what we are seeing in the outside world and go into a place of fantasy. And so with addiction, it can help us to go inside of ourselves more. But with that retrograde energy, it makes you more sensitive. So it's almost take care at this time if you have this tendency to want to escape things, because with that Neptune retrograde, it's coming on the 12th of the month, and it's going to continue for a while. So just take care, protect yourself. Be aware that if you suddenly start trying to do something that is to avoid your life, that it could just be that particular aspect that's affecting you, and see if you can stay grounded and more in this present moment. Don't look too much into the future. We have Saturn that enters Scorpio on the 14th, and that's also going retrograde as well. Many retrograde planets at the moment. And you know, Scorpio is it's a sign of the underworld, and it's ruled by Pluto, which is also that underworld kind of energy. So there is a sense with Saturn going retrograde in this particular sign. Saturn is a planet of grounding and making you see things. So there is a sense with this that you're going to revisit unresolved issues, challenges, anything that you've pushed down into your emotions, anything you've pushed down under the surface. So with that energy, it's around the 14th of the month. You'll find that maybe you might be more emotional than you've been in the past, but it may not be about what is going on around you right now. It may be that something else is coming to the surface to be resolved, to be healed. Then we have, of course, this month the summer solstice on the, at least in the northern hemisphere, we have the summer solstice on the 21st, and at that time the sun enters Cancer, which to me is there is a sensitive energy to this, but there's also a feeling of brightness that comes with it as well. I feel like it's adventure time when it goes into Cancer. Well, on the 22nd, we have Jupiter and Uranus are making a trine. And Jupiter is in Leo and Uranus is in Aries, both fire signs. So with this, there's almost a sense of the road less traveled. There's a sense of excitement. There's a sense of adventure. So around that time, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, you might find yourself suddenly wanting to take a trip, or suddenly wanting to go into the kind of relationship that you've never been in before, or maybe going for a job that you didn't think you were capable of getting, or didn't think that you had the qualifications to apply for the job. There is a sense of luck that comes with that particular aspect, and it's been coming through already. Earlier in the year we had the same aspect. Now we're getting another chance at it, so that can come up as well. It may be that you're getting a second chance at something, maybe a relationship or a job or something else that means that your whole world opens up as a consequence. All right then, just as my cat came in to say hello. So now let's move on and see what's coming up for your sign. Okay, Aquarius, so for you have this black tourmaline heart that went into your first house. Black tourmaline it's actually a smooth heart, and usually with black tourmaline it has lots of lines on it. Black tourmaline is usually about protection and grounding. So from that first house, there's almost a sense of you starting something new, beginning something like a project or a new job, or moving to a new house or a new country or a new adventure, something like this. And with the black tourmaline, it's saying that you're just tentatively stepping out. You're just tentatively making that leap. And it's going to take you a little while to get your bearings, let's say. I also feel that it's around a relationship as well. This is the first house. So there's a sense of you may have just let go of someone, or someone has passed into spirit, or there is a sense of a piece of yourself has gone, or has gone missing. So I'm just trying to feel into what that is, and it's like I'm getting a blank space with it. So it could be that something has happened and you just haven't expressed the emotions yet. You haven't connected to the emotions. You haven't had time, or you haven't been able to get there. So there is a sense of not unfeeling, but there's just some part of you that's been lost. There's a sense of some part of you that's been lost. You will find it again, but maybe not yet. So now the 8th house, which is kind of interesting, the 8th house is a piece of iolite. I love this particular stone. It's just, there's something about it. It's iolite is blue, is sapphire. It's called water sapphire. And there is something about this that just, it feels almost calming. It feels almost as if, there's been chaos around, there's been all kinds of things happening, and then the iolite comes up and it's like, there. It's going to be okay, don't worry about it. And that's the sense that comes up with this stone for me, for you. Went into your 8th house, which is about death and rebirth. So then we go back to this first house of something is empty, something has been lost, something has changed. And then we come to this there, it's going to be okay energy in your 8th house. So I feel as if you have lost something, and I'm thinking of it as a person, but it could be that, it could be that an exam you were supposed to take isn't happening, or that you didn't do as well as you could have done on that, or that a loan that you wanted didn't happen. It could be something along those lines. Whatever it is, there is sadness that's connected to it, but there's a sense of this stone saying it's going to be okay, to not worry about it because everything is as it's meant to be. The blue often links with truth and finding your truth and speaking your truth and being in your truth and being in your integrity. So I feel as if you need to not blame someone or anyone around you for whatever has happened. And also to let go of any ideas of guilt for yourself as well. There's a sense of a need for forgiveness in this particular stone. It's interesting with this, and your 8th house is often about wealth, inheritance, and there's a feeling of money that's coming in from this, but it's a feeling that somebody is giving you money that you are owed. Okay, so the final stone is ruby and zoisite, and it's this lovely, it's green and red with the ruby red in there, pinky red, and this is, it's heaven and earth within one stone. So there's a fire of passion and there's grounding that passion at the same time. This went into your 9th house, and the 9th house is, it's about education and higher education. It's about travel and connection to foreign lands, and it's about faith and philosophy and a higher vibration of seeing. So when I look at this particular stone, I get this sense of finding your passion, finding what you believe in, and then grounding it. And because you're grounding it, you're finding how to build on that passion and where to go to learn more about it. So it's almost as if, let's say that passion is about a religion, then you will, once you find the passion, then you find a place to learn about that religion. That's simply put. I feel as if you're going to be revisiting either an educational establishment or some kind of education that you've done previously and now you're coming back to it. And I also get the sense with this, because, it went into your 9th house, that you're going to be planning a trip. And it's, it could be it could be anywhere in the world, obviously, but there's a sense of planning a trip, and there's a great deal of excitement around that particular trip. But it's not just, a place that you've been to all the time, every time that you go on a trip. This is something which has a great deal more excitement connected to it. Feels a little bit more exotic or adventurous. Okay, so now the bead that came up is called Tanzanite, and it's a bead that is violet during the day and then with with the different light, it turns blue. So often I feel that this is about your guardian angel coming up, because guardian angel comes up with that blue, same blue and lilac energy. So I feel that you are being guided and guarded and looked after this month, and you're not to worry because you are being helped. Also, ask your angels for guidance and support. Just seeing if there was anything else that wanted to come up, but it didn't. Your card is called Fear. So just take a look at that card, see what you're most attracted to. It doesn't mean that there's anything about fear that's coming up for you. Just see what you're most attracted to. Then ask yourself, what does that mean? What does that mean? So when I look at this card, I'm seeing this kind of red bauble. I'm seeing this sort of red bauble in the corner there, and it almost looks like a Christmas ball. It looks like it's to me anyway, it looks like a Christmas ball, and it's lost its little hook to go onto the Christmas tree, and it's fallen in with all this other treasure that's down there. So what I feel from that is that, again, there's something exciting that's coming up, but it still has a missing piece. In order for it all to come together correctly and perfectly and work right for you, there's still a missing piece that's needed. The red is about movement forward, and it's also about luck that's coming in. But again, I feel that opportunity that's there, it may look a little bit fearful, may look a little bit scary, but it's almost like you still need something extra to make it work for you. So don't be afraid. Go for it. Okay, that's it for this month's Astrocolorscope. Hope you enjoyed it. Do please share it with your friends. Like and subscribe to my channel. And if the message has resonated, please leave me a comment below. Remember that you can subscribe to my love letter and grab your free color kit at bit.ly/color kit. And also remember that I offer different guidance sessions from my website sealedwithlove.com, and I make crystal jewelry, and I also have crystals available in my store.sealedwithlove.com. I will see you next week with the Crystal Colorscope. Lots of coloricious blessings to you. Bye.